Good morning, Legacy Builders. Hello, hello. Happy Tea Time Tuesday. So great to see everyone. Come on in. Let me know who is joining me. I'm seeing the names popping up. Good morning. Good morning, Francesca. All right. Technical difficulties, but I'm back. Good morning, everyone. As I'm seeing you come in. Good morning, Kiano, Walida. Good morning, Mark, with your hot chocolate and your drinks. Come on in. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. I know I disappeared for a moment, but I am back. Great to see everyone. I am so excited for another Tea Time Tuesday. Um, let me know again. You're drinking. Let me sip my tea before we get started. My Bahamian breakfast. All right. Yes, I am back, Daniel. Thank you. Good morning. Hey, Myron. Good to see everyone here, and greetings to everyone on Instagram as well. So, my name is Marcella Mullen Williams, for those who don't know me, and I am a behavioral financial advisor and the co founder of a Legacy Builder Group, where we help families achieve financial certainty and create impactful multi generational wealth. And on today's Tea Time Tuesday, I am challenging everyone. I'm challenging you to reflect on this question. Are you accepting less than who you are? Are you accepting less than who you are? And I know it's an interesting question, and I crafted that way. It's very intentional, and you're going to find out why I went in this direction. If you saw any of the promos, if you saw what I posted on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, you kind of know what we're going to touch on. Yes, this question stems from a recent interview from Club Shay Shay. And I don't know, some of you it may have been on your timeline, but that show has been quite popular lately, and for various reasons. For those who are not familiar, Club Shay Shay is a YouTube show hosted by a retired football player and Hall of Famer, Shannon Sharp. He has been really pretty much breaking the internet recently with his guest. And last week, he kept that going. He had another guest on, comedian and Oscar winning actress, Monique. And in their interview, it caused quite a stir as Monique kind of shared several stories about her Hollywood peers. So let me find out, did anyone else catch that interview? Has anyone seen that? Just so I know who may know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, that's fine. If you didn't watch it, it's okay. You're going to be able to track this conversation. Oh, someone said, don't forget Super Bowl champ. Yes, Shannon Sharp. We just had the Super Bowl, so I have to add that. Shannon Sharp is also a former Super Bowl champion. So, yeah, he's known. He's out there and he's transitioned, he's pivoted, and now he's doing his thing in the as a host of his own show. So, a few people saw it, not the full. Okay, Najee, you say you saw some parts of the interview. No, yes. Okay, so we have a mixed bag here. Great, because I can get some feedback. I definitely want to hear from you guys, but I do want to frame this conversation because a lot was said. It was like a 3-hour conversation. Um, but I really want to, this is a legacy conversation. We're going to have, we're talking about money, and I want to frame that here. So when y'all know, I like reading comments. It's what I do. My legacy builders knows that in this community. So when after watching the interview, something really caught my attention. And so I went to the comments and I could not help but notice the conversation that was not being had. No one was having a particular conversation that I was looking for. So I began to share my observations with my family, and it hit them as well. And then my son said that I definitely need to have this conversation with the legacy builders, which is why we're going to do this today. And after reading dozens of comments about everything else except for what I wanted to talk about, it hit me. This is what came to me, and that's that people are not talking about this thing because they don't recognize it. How do you talk about what you don't recognize to talk about? So, but my thing is that as legacy builders, it is imperative that you recognize this because it is the money conversations that we overlook that can have the greatest impact on our legacy. It's the conversations that we're not having. And that's why we're going to have this one today. Now, I shared a 2-minute clip in this Facebook community, on my Facebook page and on Instagram. It's this particular clip out of this entire 3-hour interview that we're going to talk about, just this 2-minute clip, because this is where I feel like we can really frame a good money conversation around, a good legacy conversation, wealth conversation. It's in this clip where Monique shares about her experience about promoting her movie Precious. For those who watched it, you're familiar with what happened there. It's actually the movie that she received the Oscar for. And she talks about her interaction with the film studio and one of the producers, which happened to be Tyler Perry in this clip. And it was a money conversation here. Now, I want to make this very clear. This is not a conversation about making anyone right or wrong. I'm not here to make Monique right. I'm not here to make her wrong. None of us, particularly me, were in that room when these conversations were happening. So we don't know. We don't know what's fact. We don't know what's fiction. We don't know her word against someone else's word. We don't know any of that. So that's why we're not going into the weeds here. What I do want to do here is pull out what I observed. And I want to see, is it a similar observation that you had? Was it something that you didn't notice at all? Perhaps you don't agree with my observation. Feel free to share. That's what this community is about. But we're going to have this conversation regardless, okay? So let's start with my first observation. The first thing I observed, and not in this particular order, but this is where I want to start. All right. Start with what boundaries were set. So in this conversation, Monique talks about they wanting the studio and the producers wanted her to promote the film Precious, and she was doing that in the U.S. There was a contract that was signed. She did the U.S. promotion. She did everything that she was contractually obligated to do. Well, she did so well in the U.S. That she decided to that they decided to ask her to promote the film internationally. And so this is where the boundary started here. And I want to make sure you guys are all tracking me here. Okay. Again, this is a conversation around the film Precious and the money conversations that came around that. So she decided, no, I am going to respectfully decline to attend the international promotions. and opting to stay home with her family. That was her decision. Based off of that, let's talk about boundaries here. How many of you are familiar with the term boundaries? It may be from one of a great book, often used in premarital financial counseling. I know my husband and I touched on that book. There's a book by Dr. Henry Cloud. But regardless of the book, um, in a nutshell, boundaries are a line that we draw for ourselves in terms of our level of comfort around others. So we simply draw a line that so that people know, where to cross, where not to cross. Okay. This is in a general sense what a boundary is. So in this conversation, I noticed that she set a boundary. And good, I'm seeing people who are, yes, you have boundaries. Hopefully you have some boundaries you've set for yourself. We know, if you're familiar with boundaries, then you know how important it is to set healthy boundaries. Now, there was a boundary that was set. As I mentioned, she said no to the international. She was not obligated. She said no. So there was a boundary that was set. I found a financial boundary. And in the conversation with Tyler Perry, which was one of the executive producers of the show, Tyler asked her, please, and he's not the first time. This was just one of the conversations. The producers, the studio said, hey, can you come to this international promotion? She said, no. Well, she said, is there a dollar amount attached to that? If you're not paying me, I am not going. That was the conversation her husband, who was a manager, had with the studios. It's led to a secondary conversation with her and Tyler Perry in person. Tyler asked her again, would you go to this film festival promotion? Monique said, are you going to pay me to do this? He said, no. And I wrote down because I want to make sure I got the words right. Tyler said, I am not in the habit of giving out money for free. Monique said, fine. I am not in the habit of working for free. So there are set boundaries there, right? Do you agree? Do you agree that there are boundaries here? Dr. Roxanne, you said boundaries are necessary. Let me know your thoughts on this. Monique said boundaries. Was that a healthy boundary? Even Tyler said a boundary. We don't pay for promotions. We don't pay anyone for promotions. That's not what's done here. As you guys continue to type, let me know your thoughts on this one situation, because one thing I want you to understand, especially when it comes to money conversation and boundaries, that boundaries work both ways. You can either set a boundary that is a line that shows clear parameters. These are where my limits are. Or you can build a boundary that becomes a wall where you're not letting people in and you're also blocking yourself in. So I want to make note of that. Again, I'm not making right or wrong. I do want to hear your thoughts on it. But I want you to understand what was happening, the money conversation that was happening here, and how the boundaries were set. Was Monique setting a clear line, or was she building a wall? And we're going to emphasize that a bit later. And I might show you that in a different point of view here. So setting clear boundaries, both of them set their boundaries, correct. To Mel, yes, I think they both set their boundary expectations. Walida, no means no. Let your no mean no. Healthy boundaries are necessary. Turn down several speaking engagements. Okay, so I'm loving what everyone is saying. And I want you to look at it and I said healthy boundaries. So this is the question. Was it a healthy boundary? Was it an unhealthy boundary? Let's talk about it. We need to understand. Okay, Najee said, we need to understand the practices of the industry of film and television. Very good observation there. Understanding this. All right, great. So you have your thoughts there. There are boundaries that we set when we are operating and moving to various levels of our financial growth. When you're in this area and you're moving to the next area. And I love what Najee put there, because it is important to know the environment in which you're working in as you're setting boundaries. If you do not understand that, instead of setting a line, you may be building a wall that you are trapping yourself in. So that is, or it's like that's for her to determine. We don't know. We weren't there. We don't know all the ins and outs. But this is something for you to think about for yourself, for your money behavior, for your business endeavors. All right. The second observation. All right, just give me all something to chew on. The second observation. What belief systems were expressed? This is what I observed. What belief systems were expressed in this conversation? So I'm going to challenge you all to, I'm going to talk about a particular part. I'm going to challenge you all to look past the surface of what we're going to talk about here, because you'll find out why. I'm just prepping you right now. Understand your belief system is very, very important. Your behavior is how your mindset expressed through your actions. All right. How you behave is how your mindset is expressed through your actions. And your mindset is set through your beliefs. So how you act, how you move forward is determined right here. In this conversation, Monique said something that stuck out to me so strong. And let me read what she said. In the conversation with Tyler Perry, Tyler said that if Monique, we need you to take this international tour, do this promotion. And if you get nominated for this Oscar, you can earn $3 to $5 million. And if you win, you can earn up to $6 to $8 million. This is him, really letting her see what the opportunity is here. This was Monique's direct response after that, according to her words. Tyler, who are you talking to? I'm a Black woman. When they going to pay that type of money? So when are they going to pay that type of money? That stuck out to me. What stuck out to me were a couple of things. The I am statement. I am a Black woman. Okay. We had a conversation in this group about identity. Do you guys remember? If you haven't, catch the replay. Conversation, her identity. I'm a Black woman. Okay. What was the follow-up statement? What did she tie to being a Black woman? They don't pay this kind of money to Black women. When are they going to pay this type of money? It's her words. To being a Black woman. Negative belief. Yes, Stacy, a negative belief. There's a limiting negative scarcity belief around that. This is not a race conversation, because you can switch this to I am broke. I am this. I am that. I am from the hood. When am I going to get out of here? I am whatever you want to apply after I am. What is your belief around your I am? This is the part I really want you to get this, because this is, as a legacy builder, I need you to challenge your thinking, your money mindset behavior. This right here, this belief around your I am, who you were created to be, has the ultimate potential to make or break your money making capabilities, your opportunities. Your earning potential is limited to your belief about yourself, your belief about who you are. And that's the point I want you to hit. Now, I am abundant. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I totally missed that on the interview. Franca, yes. Yeah, I didn't write it. I saw it too. You saw it, Sheila. Wonderful. Your belief around I am. This is one. So I want you to check, just like I see Naja did on Instagram. I am. What is your I am? I am what? Even if it is, I am a Black woman, what is the statement that follows that for you? I am. I want you to be so clear about who you are. And you've heard me share the only thing that I am, the only identity that I claim is I am God's highest form of creation. Everything else is secondary to me. But you have to be so clear of who you are and the abundance that comes with it. And that statement hit me to my gut when I heard her say it, because I know it was so overlooked. And again, as legacy builders, you cannot overlook the actions and the words that come out of your mouth and the power that you have in creating and determining your money making, your wealth building, your legacy building potential. All right. Huge. Third observation. Three, I observed what game was being played. All right. And I'm seeing all that's resonating in the chats. I love it. Stacy, how you speak and think about yourself. That I am statement carries so much power. Absolutely. So, observation three, what game was being played? Through that conversation with Monique, through Tyler, through the studios, and all that was said here. I started with the boundaries. Remember observation one. This is what I want to come back to. What game was she playing in this? So many times, and you may have heard this quote statement before, but I really want y'all to get this and how it's framed in this conversation. Too often, we're out here when it comes to finances, when it comes to investing, when it comes to how we operate our money behavior, we are playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Let me say that again. We're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. My observation is, and I want to find out from you guys, what did you observe in setting and the conversation about I am not going to the international promotion? I think a lot of people in the comments saw an opportunity. Naja mentioned it possibly blocked a blessing. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But it's the mindset that I want you to pay attention to here, because the mindset and the intention of that decision is what matters. If you're saying no, you're setting a boundary. A healthy boundary can be looked at in this money conversation. You can set a healthy boundary while playing to win. But if you're setting a boundary because you're playing not to lose, then that's when it becomes unhealthy, because there's fear tied to that. If your no is tied to fear, if your no is tied to hurt and pain, then it's something to visit. Is your no is tied to anything from the past, anything with scarcity? And as I was listening to this conversation, again, my observation, my opinion, I cannot help but notice a 9 to 5 mindset that was happening. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know if you observed it. The no, I did what I was required to do, and I'm not doing any more than that. This is a team. There are a couple analogies here. Oh, this is a team sport here. We're all in this. We're all a lot of times in the Hollywood, and I have my husband has ties to Hollywood. My son has ties to the entertainment industry. So I have a vague knowledge of the industry. There is a team mentality that is needed when you're interacting at a certain level. All right. It's building relationship equity. It's okay, let's get this done. Let's do this together. That's not always understood, especially if you come from a mindset where I call it the clock punching. I work from 9 to 5. 5 o'clock comes, I punch my clock. Don't ask me to do anything else. I'm not obligated to do anything else. And I've heard this stated from various other individuals who've come from disadvantaged situations to reach millions, to amassed wealth. Even Will Smith talked about this, how he had to remove and work on his limiting beliefs. He was still thinking and operating in the place of his upbringing, not realizing or knowing how to shift his behavior, shift his mindset so that he could be in this new place of life and continue to grow in that. And in this conversation, and for you all, as you continue to build and accumulate and grow as legacy builders and pass on multi generational wealth, what you don't want to do is pass on any of your limiting beliefs. You need to understand what game you are playing. And the game is playing to win. And when you play to win, you see opportunities. When you play not to lose, you miss opportunities. And this is the game. I'm saying playing to win. I'm saying here playing to win. Sheila, employee mindset versus entrepreneurship mindset. Exactly. It is, Francesca says, that sounds like she's coming from a place of pain. Yes. And negative life experience in the industry. Absolutely. And you know what? It's again, it's not right or wrong. It's not saying she shouldn't feel how she's feeling. She's wrong for experiencing what she's experienced. But this is a conversation for you. This is a conversation for me. This is a beautiful reminder for all of us to learn from other people's experiences. Pay attention to what we're hearing. Pay attention to what you're hearing externally and internally. What are the words coming out of your mouth? What are you missing in your conversations that's showing up through your behavior? This is what I am challenging you as legacy builders. Do not walk around here blind. Do not be blind to your own behavior and to the lessons that are constantly being shown to you. These are the opportunities for growth. And when you can learn from other people's experience and avoid some of those, look, my family knows that that is a rule I live by. I live by the rule, learn from other people's mistakes. And I recently changed the wording to I learn from other people's experiences. Because I can learn from their wins and their losses, but I'm here to learn from other people's experiences so that I minimize the pain, minimize the failures that I have, and just go through the ones that I need to. The failures and the mistakes that I have to make for growth, I'm fine with. What I don't want is the unnecessary ones. And that's what I also want for each of you to learn from these conversations that we're having together and be willing to start noticing, have your eyes open, having the lens of a legacy builder, of a wealth builder, and understanding that, oh, how are your words? How's your behavior impacting you? Make the observations. What boundaries are you setting? Are they lines or are they walls? What belief systems are you expressing through your behavior, through your actions that derive from your mindset? And what observation, number three, what game are you playing? Are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? This is what we're here for. Beverly sounds like she did not truly believe in her ability to move to the next level. Bam. Was she willing to bet on herself? That's just my opinion. I happen to agree with that. Was she willing to bet on herself to take the opportunity to go without being paid because that international exposure could have leveled her up to 6 to 8 million. Tyler said, if you win, you can earn up to 6 to 8 million. She won. At the time, she didn't know she was going to win, but she won. How are your behaviors operating in the manner? Yes, it's understandable, but we need to understand the mentality. Yes, Naja. Francis, when you play to win, you see opportunities. However, when you play to lose, you miss opportunities. Exactly. Exactly. I love that. Living from other people's mistakes and experiences. Absolutely. Play to win. I'm seeing everyone here. So let me know. Put in the comments. Play to win. I am here to play to win. Aronson Moe is one of two Black female comedians to win an Oscar, Whoopi Goldberg in 85, and the other actually stand-up comedian. Oh well, she also won for not being funny. So you have to read Ron's comment. It's long, but it's a really good point. It's a really good point because her earning potential was there. Because they're really, I mean, there's no other, especially Black female comedian who was doing what she was doing at the time. So everyone put their play to win, no matter what. I see you, Kyla. Yes, play to win. Set healthy boundaries. Express powerful and abundant belief systems. All right. I thank you all for joining me for this conversation and indulging me as we explore this possibly controversial topic. But these are the conversations we want to continue to have in this community. And that I promise that I will continue to bring to you because it's the conversations that aren't being had and they're absolutely needed for your wealth building potential and growth, both in your financial assets and your intellectual assets. Continue to grow and build. Reach out to me if you have any questions. You can always find me at www.legacybuildergroup.com. And if we need to talk, reach out. Let's have a chat. I look forward to seeing you and talking to you all guys at the next Tea Time Tuesday. Have an amazing week until I see you next time. Bye, everyone.